Who is the lover?
Allah.
Who is Ar-Rahman?
Allah.
Who is Al-Mannan?
La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Muhammad is the messenger, to Allah is our return. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Muhammad is the messenger, to Allah is our return. La ilaha illallah,
Muhammadur Rasulullah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Amen. Viewers, you are welcome to yet another edition of your program, Islam in Focus. Today we shall continue the serialization of part of what happened at the second national conference, former opening of the Muslim Media Watch Group of Nigeria, which took place in Ilorin about 2 weeks ago. Today, we will let you have the presentation of the guest speaker of the day, who is the professor who doubles as the vice chancellor of the Ahman Pategi University in Kwara State. And I'm referring to Professor Mahfuz Adedimeji, who talked on redefining the media space for socio-economic prosperity of Nigeria. You should know that this group is committed and dedicated to the well-being of all Nigerians, irrespective of being an Islamic group. We are committed to this. The well-being of all Nigeria, we are so much concerned about it. We are concerned about peace and stability of the nation. I want to see the role the media has been playing here in Nigeria and all over the world. And this is the topic examined by our able guest speaker, Professor Mahfuz Adedimeji. Let's listen to him.
Media for Dawah, issues and perspectives are being present by London. I was also invited as a guest speaker. In this regard, I hasten to appreciate the National Coordinator, Ahman, a veteran media practitioner, and astute worker in the vineyard of Dawah, for this invitation and for his lifetime commitment to utilizing Dawah media resources, for the advancement of the day. I equally appreciate the chairman of the Board of Trustees of legal practice in Nigeria, Ahman, for his remarkable contributions to the socio-economic development of the Ummah and humanity through his multi-layered interventions in the field of socio-education and economic life as a society. Acknowledge the luminous tasks and bring the lacuna of the Nigerian Muslim Ummah here present and represented, from His Eminence the Sultan of Sokoto to His Royal Highness the Emir of Ilorin, and from the chairman of today's occasion to the Secretary General of the NCIA. I also recognize the functionaries and members of the flagship group, and I pray that the body continue to work stronger and stronger. If you will permit me, as let me modify the topic given to me, redefining the media for Nigeria's socio-economic prosperity. As redefining the media space for Nigeria's peace and prosperity, this is because prosperity, in my view, is the condition of being successful and thriving economically, already entails socio-economic well-being. And given that peace is becoming increasingly fragile in Nigeria and the world, and the media practitioners are contributing to this fragility and the ascendance of conflict, I consider this the noblest of all man endeavors as equally important. It is apposite that without peace, socio-economic development becomes to be reached, as it is being witnessed in Ukraine and other theaters of conflict in the world, especially in Africa and the Middle East. Introduction. Today's reality is that the media are a powerful tool that cannot be ignored by any serious-minded person. They are individuals, and we see and feel them all around us. Our opinions, our views, our tastes, our conditions that we want to see, what we listen to, and what we read in various media platforms. Yet, the general attitude to the media is that of ambivalence because of their vulnerability to be used, misused, and abused. The media are a double-edged sword that can be used to defend the society and at the same time destroy it. Perhaps no one captured this dilemma better than the American thinker and writer Mahfuz. He was acknowledged to have appropriately stated that if you don't read the newspaper, you are uninformed. If you read the newspaper, you are misinformed. In other words, the media posed the challenge of Catch-22. That is a confusing and difficult circumstance from which there is no escape as a result of conflicting and dependent conditions. This means that no paying attention to the media at all is suicidal, because nothing is faster than lack of information in an age where information has become the oxygen of civilization. At the same time, consuming media, especially the social media now, gives readers a lot of misinformation, so that infodemic has become a malignant cancer that is destroying the moral and social fabric of our modern society. Infodemic is a blend on information and epidemic, and it has been used to represent the opposite of fake news and anti-truth material. In the situation where we are not between the devil and the evil, but between being informed, between being uninformed, ignoring the media, and misinformed that the everyday media tells us it is apparent that the media and the media space to be refined and redefined in the interest of the stakeholders and the public, so that there will be trust. This is why for us as Nigerians, repositioning the media is crucial and expedient, because we have seen the consequences of using media to bring passions. A case in point is the NSAS process of 2020, where the video of shooting a youth in the Delta State resulted in a protest to end police brutality in Lagos and other parts of the country. The youth are mobilized and sensitized through the media, especially the new media, and the consequences were extrajudicial killings, looting. I remember the first one that happened here in the lobby. Somebody riding a motorcycle went to the warehouse close to the airport to steal a bag of rice. Before he came back, his motorcycle was stolen. And that was good. Including looting, large burning of public and private properties, increasing security, and the near collapse of simple things. In this presentation, I attempted to construct the media and highlight its forms while discussing the challenges facing the media in Nigeria, and at the same time, advocate for repositioning the media space to serve the interest of the nation, not just the private pockets of the media entrepreneurs and employees. Understanding the media. The media as a concept refers to the totality of organizations and agencies that provide information to the public, also referred to as mass media or mass communication. The media as a term connotes the art of transmitting ideas, opinions, words, attitudes from one person to some persons or the masses. That's like Pategi. Those who work in the media are the journalists or the press or members of the press, and their job is to inform, to educate, to entertain, and set agenda for the public. The media is traditionally print, newspapers, magazines, or electronic, radio, television. It has now also become digital, where you have online newspapers, broadcast, radio, television, and internet-based channels, which combine the features of both electronic and print media. One thought-provoking and comprehensive definition of the media that I found interesting is the one cited in metaphoric terms by Little John and Prof in their book, Theories of Human Communication. They define media as windows that enable us to see beyond our immediate surroundings, interpreters that help us make sense of experience, platforms for kindness that convey information, interactive communication that engages feedback, signposts that provide us with instructions and directions, filters that screen out part of experience and focus on others, mirrors that reflect ourselves back to us, and barriers that block the truth. It is the last fundamental force of conceptualizing the media. If the last fundamental force of conceptualizing the media is examined, there is every possibility of them eliciting different reactions or questions, especially within us in Nigeria. As signposts, if we ask ourselves, have the media generally, and the Nigerian media in particular, been providing the public with positive instructions and useful directions? Is it not clear that each media organization is biased towards the agenda of its owners and the sentiment of its operators? Why is it that to some media organizations, there is nothing good in a government or a religion other than the one the media owners are interested in or affiliated to? As filters that filter part of the experience and focus on others, have governments in Nigeria not been pilloried and attacked? I don't want to screen out their achievements and rather project their failures as mirrors that reflect who we are. And Nigeria is not a reflection of the Nigerian media, just as a reflection of the Nigerian police. And all that is wrong with us is also wrong with our media. Are we tolerant of one another? Do we not attack one another on the basis of religion, ethnicity, and politics? Do we sincerely care and love one another? The last metaphor that construes the media as barriers that block the truth is content. Though truth is central to the duty of the media, and many media organizations actually have truth as part of their mottos. For instance, the motto of the Guardian is conscience nurtured by truth. This day, the motto, truth and reason. For the nation, it is truth in defense of freedom, etc. We've always been told the truth by the media. To what extent have the media been to the overarching role that they are supposed to play, which is espoused by a foreigner in journalism, like Mahfuz, who said the role of the media is to, quote, fight for progress and reform and never tolerate injustice and corruption. Always fight demagogues of all parties, whether PDP, APC, LP, never belong to any party. Always oppose the privileged classes and public plunderers. Never lack sympathy with the poor. Always devoted to the public welfare. Never be satisfied with merely printing the news. Always be drastically independent. Never be afraid to attack on, whether by predating plutocracy or predating poverty. There are 86 different types of media: radio, television, film, books, and recordings, newspaper, magazines, and the internet. And it is for that purpose that you have mass media. Other forms of the mass media are billboards, comic books, posters, directing markets, and boxes. These ones that have been indicated are the ones that control the largest audiences. Now, by the time we want to look at the significance and functions of the media, I recall that there was once a superiority contest between the teacher, I'm happy there are many teachers here, and the journalists, and we also have many journalists here, regarding who practice the first profession. The teacher justifiably asserted that because they already allowed talks, Adam called them to Adam and Ahman, after which he directed him to also teach the Indians. Teaching is the first profession. In Quran chapter 2, verse 21, the journalist, relying on the same argument, insisted that Adam only informed the angels of what they did not know, and they informed them with the next. That is Quran chapter 2, verse 23. The journalist argued further that the Quran to which the teacher made reference himself is described as great news. In Quran 38, verse 67, and that one can only ignore journalism as one's own peril. Femi Abbas, the Islamic Connections of the Nation, arguing in the message column of March 22, 2013, page 36, that the two professionals are right because both journalism or the media and teaching are complementary. According to him, like teaching, the teacher informs. At the global stage, the significance of journalists or the media has been underscored by many world leaders and thinkers. While the French general Napoleon Bonaparte posited that all Protestant newspapers ought to be feared than the 1,000 bayonets, the third American president, Thomas Jefferson, submitted thus: "Were it left to me to decide whether we should have a government without newspapers or newspapers without a government, I should not hesitate a moment to prefer the latter. I would rather have newspapers without government than to have government without newspapers." Functionally, we know that the media serve as agents of information, they serve as agents of education, as well as entertainment of the populace. They are also good as instruments of socio-political mobilization, molding public opinion and setting an agenda for the society. It is acknowledged that the media will also be agents of development by practicing development journalism that will see to the goodness of the society, peace by practicing peace journalism in which people are going to be conflict sensitive in their reporting and know the implication of reporting things that have not been verified or confirmed, security and prosperity in society. Equally, 1978 discusses the functions of the media from the viewpoint of the news function, the education information function, the economic function, the opinion function, etc. And I've mentioned 10 functions here that the media serve as our watchdogs. They also define reality, they widen horizons, they focus attention on issues, they raise aspiration and alleviate poverty, they alleviate poverty and anxiety, they help in changing attitudes. They also confer status by those that is necessary to focus on. They broaden the policy dialogue, they enforce social norms, and they also influence the formation of taste. Now, I move on to the section I refer to as the New World Order and the dynamics of the media. That Francis Fukuyama caused a stir in informed circles with the publication of his book, The End of History and The Last Man in 1992. In that particular book, Fukuyama suggested that there would be a single world of government dominated by the Western political philosophy, and is submitted ultimately on the end point of mankind's ideological evolution and the universalization of Western democracy as the final form of human government, that without democracy there won't be any form of government acceptable. The profundity of Fukuyama's thesis generated a good response from his former study mate and scholar, Samuel Hutchinson, the political science professor at Harvard University, who is in 1993 Foreign Affairs Journal article, developed his theory of the inevitability of the clash of civilization. That compulsorily civilizations must clash, and we must use the media to make civilizations clash at all costs. The article was an instant success, and he celebrated the journal in which it was published. Hutchinson eventually developed his ideas in great detail in his 1996 book, The Clash of Civilization and the Remaking of World Order. There, he hypothesized that there will be great divisions among humankind, and the dominating source of conflict would be culture. The principal conflict of global politics will occur between nations and groups of different civilizations. The clash of civilization will be the battle line of the future. That was in 1996. Beyond the horizon, Hutchinson was also nudging the West to wage war against other cultures. The media will play a prominent role in this war, as they will be used to set people against themselves and then to demonize leaders and then create conflict. When you remember the watch out Baghdad, remember Saddam Hussein, and it was only when Baghdad, Iraq was destroyed, I said, I'm sorry, we didn't have weapons of mass destruction. The same thing happened in Libya. Gaddafi was killed, was attacked, until people got to see him as a very terrible person. To have a list of what Libya was under Gaddafi. The New World Order was subsequently articulated by the former American President George Bush in 1992 around the time the Iraq was invaded, and then you have the New World Order. With the New World Order also came the New World Information Order. You realize that at the end of the day, just 1% of Americans control information sources that 95% of Americans are fed with and originality. So, in conclusion, it is necessary for the media to be motivated by the development paradigm. As Pella is a veteran journalist in his 2017 article that the media must hold itself in high esteem and also stay above board if we are condemning corruption, which will also not be corrupt, on issues of good governance, the promotion of sanity in the society, devoid of bias based on ethnicity, religion, and social status. The creed that facts are sacred and comment is free as a cardinal principle of the profession to also be observed at all times. Stella counsel that the media must refrain from jumping into conclusion on issues of critical national interest or affairs, and for them to spend the possibility of misinformation on negative stigmatization, which may unnecessarily heat up the polity. We have been heating up the polity as a result of the fact that our preferences are not needed. The question has also been asked on who watches the watchdog. No, the media is watchdog, but new media practitioners don't want to be watched. And that is ironic. We don't want to be regulated. The Nigerian Press Organization, which is the umbrella body for the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Nigerian Guild of Editors and Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria, has often been frustrating the effective takeoff of the Nigerian Press Council to promote professional standard in the Nigerian press. Till today, 17 out of 39 clauses in the bill to amend the Act have been part of litigation since 1999, which means Nigerian journalists have been in force since 1999, trying to frustrate the coming on board fully of the Nigerian Press Organization that will regulate the practice of the media in Nigeria. No, this is not correct. Further proceeded that a situation where the operation of the media is left to whims and caprices of upcomers and manners of investors is detrimental to the growth of media professionalism in Nigeria. The cost of national unity, peace, and national development also be put in jeopardy as a result of the practice. I am rounding up on the note of the fact that the Nigerian media gallantly fought colonialism. The Nigerian media courageously fought powerful military rule. Many of them were sent to jail, Adedimeji and the rest. But with the advent of the Fourth Republic, the maxim seems to have become, if you cannot beat them, you have to join them. Everybody seems to be running after money, and the profession itself is being taken over by charlatans, those who do not know what the profession is all about. The proliferation of news sources and commercial even news has also weakened the media in way the web and social media is increasingly becoming a threat to the survival of credible media organization. Rather than to stand aloof, it will be that the discussion actually continues, that we have to be thinking of how to leverage technology to be able to present facts and news to people in the way that news information will be relatable and embraced by the media. I want to thank the Mmwg for inviting me to share this with you, and I wish the group many happy returns of national conferences.
Alhamdulillah, from this presentation, you could know very well the important role of the media in any society and what media all over the world has contributed positively and negatively in various societies across the country. You can now see that media cannot be ignored And that is why we have dedicated this group to be the watchdog of the media, to be repository of knowledge, to pass information to the people of this country on what is going on and giving our reaction as an Islamic body, expressing the view of the Muslims on what is going on. Our appeal is that media organization, irrespective of the proprietors, must be committed to ethics and professionalism so as to build greater Nigeria and, above all, making the world a good place for all of us. You could see the negative contribution of media to bringing down some nations, because the whole world was filled with falsehood, and citizens of some countries had to raise against their leader and remove them. Having done that, they are now regretting over what they have done. And this was part of what will have happened to Nigeria during the EndSARS crisis in Nigeria, with people of different tribe, religion, cultural, and political differences. The motives of those who originated EndSARS crisis might be good, but it turned out to be otherwise. If media had continued to carry out the negative impact of EndSARS on the Nigerian society, the nation will have crumbled. Waliyazubillah. Alhamdulillah, that's now part of history. We must learn from it and ensure that we keep our youth on check. There are many ways we can correct the ills of the society, not until when we cause trouble. On this note, we are lowering the curtain on today's edition of the program. Join us next week, inshallah, for the concluding part of this synopsis which we've been showing to you in the last 2 weeks. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
All praise is due to the one and only. He is the master of all creation.
All praise is due to the one and only. He is the master of all creation.
He's the sustainer and the main